Hey Jimmy, how's everybody doing today? It is a bright sunny Saturday, and we might do some shooting later, but it most likely be Monday because I still have another ring coming in, thumb ring draw, and I wanted to get all of them together and test them all at range, so that way we can do a proper review on that, and this bow as well. Okay, so these are invaluable to have in your kit. They are going to help you with accuracy. These are knocking point crimping pliers, and you can get these with the alignment tool, some knocking points to crimp, and they come with pliers. They come in different colors, so you can choose at your whimsy whatever you like. So when you get these on there, you want to make sure that you go around and round it off real good. I'm just doing this. I've already done this, so and I have the opening to the front, but I have it closed so when I shoot it and the string vibrates and comes back, it's not going to pop it back and hit me in the eye. So I have to be very careful. It's a safety issue to make sure you get these on there correctly, okay? Because otherwise you can be throwing it down range if you have it backwards, and it could become a second projectile and hit something other than the target you intend on hitting. So you have to be very careful. When you get these on there, you want to line them up to where you want it to go. And I have it along here. So that way it's close to the center of the bow, the arrow is, and when I do the Slavic draw, normally what I do, I'll have that right along that edge, and it'll be accurate every time. I'll have more consistent groupings instead of it being all over the place. And you can use it with thumb as well. And it's very accurate with thumb ring. So you guys got to get into whatever type of style you want to use. Yes, you can take these bows and flip it around. As you can tell, the knocking point goes all the way around, or as far as the arrow pass goes, and you can use that, which I don't use it very much. Because there's no shelf, you use your fingers for alignment. And this is where you get into the weeds with the Mediterranean. I don't use Mediterranean that much, only for show, for demonstration. But yeah, Slavic draw is where it's at for me. And yeah, thumb ring is a lot more accurate, in my opinion, on slow, deliberate shots. When I'm using Slavic draw, I'm normally drawing pretty fast, and it works out really well. So, that being said, you guys want to make sure your knocking point is where you want it, and it's a launching point for your arrow to be, accurate every time you shoot. And that's the point. Accuracy is everything. And you can see, I can get it. Yeah. Okay, so on a recurve bow, you can do that. Ease it forward. Compound bow, you cannot. Don't do that. You will tear your shoulder up. Done it. So, and that was like 15, 16 years ago when I was into compound bows. And I sold those, got rid of them because, really there's no place around here to actually shoot a 70-pound bow. If you go into the archery and you do the inside stuff, a lighter bow can be shot indoors if you set up a proper range. And I'm going to do a video on how to set up a proper range in your house safely. I live by myself, so I no big deal. I don't have anybody around to worry about, and it's just a bigger part of it. So, knowing safety issues, and you've got it made all day long. Shooting outside is another thing, but with the way the weather's been, up and down, -20, +50, rain, 10 straight days of no sunshine at all, yeah, that really bites into the cold. And so I'd be able to get outside very much. And plus, I'm getting over a cold, so that's the thing. So when you get into wanting to shoot, select your archery gear. This is a $75 bow, shipped to you the next day, PMZ Archery. And these arrows came with the other bow I have. And the only thing I've done is I've smoothed out with 5000 grit sandpaper the arrowheads every time, you use them for a little bit, especially if you use them outside and they go through the target and they go down and hit the ground, they'll ding a little bit. So you just want some longevity, so you got to maintain your equipment so that way you can use it. And you flex for safety every single time. That way you know the arrow's still good. Fletchings are all right. They're low, about 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches, and yeah, they're visible. So this is one of the things that you look for when you want to retrieve your arrows. Make sure you have good visibility, and that works out real well, especially if it's low light and you have a black light, which I have. So, and I use that. So that being said, knocking points, crimping pliers, and your style of archery go a long way for accuracy, and it works out real well. So you guys like, share, subscribe. Make sure that you ask questions in the comments. If you really want to know more about this bow, I'm going to do a full review here in a few days and explain all the parts all the way down to the middle, because if I just keep going, it's just reverse of what I just did. And to show you that these knocking points really work, especially for accuracy and longer ranges. I mean, anybody can hit a tin can at 5 yards and consistently do it no matter what, if you have a knocking point or not. But going back 15, 20, 25, 50 yards and hitting anything outside of 30 yards. 30 yards is normally the limit of most bows in accuracy, especially these traditional bows. You can still hit a 30-yard target, but your group is going to spread out. Okay, and when you put a good knocking point on there and you have consistency with the arrows that you use, you can still maintain a pretty decent group. But if you go out to 50 yards, you're going to hit the target, but you're also going to miss the target. So those square yellow thingies that I use become harder to hit at 50 and beyond. So, but with, like I said, with a good bow, and this is a good bow. It's I got a 50-pound, but it's really a 43 to 46. And I'm pulling it back to my ear for the 46, but that's still good enough. I want this bow to be accurate. I don't need it to be super powerful. I can hunt with a 35-pound bow. Done it before. Medium sized. I'm not hunting deer at distance. I mean, as close as they get, you can just stab them. Anyway, so that's pretty much, the limitation of what you're doing. You have to look at the equipment you're using, what you're going to use it for. For this exercise, we're just going to be shooting targets, and that's perfect for that. Notice that curve. So, yeah, I mean, and that is, I'm assuming design. But when you're shooting targets and you're using the Slavic draw and you're doing fast follow-up targets, which is not hard, you really got to get into that skill. I mean, just practice that. Thumb ring, super accurate, a lot slower, but it's made for accuracy. In my opinion, I'm more accurate with thumb than I am with Slavic, but Slavic I'm a lot faster. And in Mediterranean, that's really compound bow or specific target bow, but and 20 yards is the competition standard for most archery competitions. So you get into shooting at 20 yards consistently, and you can use bows like this against their bows. It's a $75 bow, and you can really make an impact in the archery world when you're that accurate, especially if you split an arrow like I did. I've done it 3 times. So think about that. 3 times. Now, those wooden arrows are not friendly when it comes to splitting. I'm only splitting them about that much. But the bamboo arrow, I split that much off of it. And that right there would be Robin Hood all day long. Now, in the cartoon classic from Disney from 1977, I think. Check me on that. I might be wrong. Robin Hood splits all the way down the fox. Robin Hood splits all the way down the shaft. That would be a very soft wood in order for that to take place. Now, bamboo is soft on the middle, but hard around, bamboo. It's a very, very robust wood. You can use it for arrows, and I do have some, and I'm going to be, flinging those at the armor, and I have to promote that so I can get 1,000 likes, so that way you guys can jump in there and chime in and see what else I can shoot armor-wise, because the armor-piercing broadheads did not do well against a plastic helmet. They kept bouncing off and bouncing against my TV, so I stopped. But I'll edit that video and show you that. It's really good, and it works really well. But let's just test it on plate armor first before we get too far, or segmented armor. So, check this bow out. I put the link in the description on the unboxing, and I'm going to put a link in the description when I do the full review here in a couple days, so that way you guys can jump into the archery sport as well for a very, very seriously low budget. I mean, it's very budget friendly. It's just a bow and a string, and you can get arrows, $32 pop. These probably would be a lot cheaper because these came with a bow, and they're extremely robust. I mean, I use these a lot. I've broken 3 of them out of 6, and I have 3, and they break normally down here, so I just go ahead and cut them and put an insert in and re-glue everything down, and it's fine. But I'll show that also in another video on how to maintain your arrows for longevity. So, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you again.